Happy Sunday, everyone. While we are all sitting around marveling at the misogyny of the Southern Baptist Convention, let's not forget that a few years ago, in the name of transparency, they released a document detailing over 700 cases of abuse that had been reported in their churches. I grew up in the Southern Baptist Church. I read that whole document. I was looking for names that I knew. And one thing struck me. In every last one of those cases, the abuse had progressed to the point that either the media or law enforcement had become involved. In other words, that document that they released for the sake of transparency were all of the cases that they could no longer cover up, that they could no longer keep a lid on. So, if you're looking for an excuse to leave the Southern Baptist Church, or if you're still attending, believe me, right now is the best time to get the hell out of there. Y'all have a good day and stay safe.
As an atheist, I think it's always a good day to get the hell out of any organized religion, but yes, especially a religion that has a now documented history of abuse. Now, is their documented history as large and as detailed and as pervasive as that of the Catholic Church? No. But as he just pointed out, the over 700 cases that we know about all have one thing in common. They all couldn't be hidden anymore. So if all of the cases that we know about, and the cases that we know about are enough, over 700, that's enough. That's enough to get you to stop going to that church. But if all of the cases are the ones that they couldn't hide anymore, and those only came out because they couldn't hide them anymore, how many more are there? How many have occurred that are still hidden? I have never been able to wrap my brain around how anybody could ever take their children back to a Catholic church again. And I understand the argument that people make. Well, my Catholic church, my local church, and my local pastor hasn't ever done anything wrong. Okay, fair enough. But let's just assume that your local Home Depot and Home Depot store manager also never did anything wrong. However, you discovered, and it is public knowledge, that Home Depot managers across the country had been engaged in the same type of systematic abuse that Catholic Church priests were engaged in. And Home Depot as an organization kept moving those managers around from one store to another to cover it up and to hide it, allowing the abuse to continue to happen. Would you ever buy a rake from Home Depot again? Of course not. Would you ever, in a million years, go to Home Depot for so much as a garden vegetable? No. But yet people still continue to take their children to an organization that has a well-documented history of abuse of children. And the Southern Baptist Convention, there's more there. There are more stories there. We just don't know about all of them. These are the ones that we do know about.